All over TV today, you see it intensifying. Talk radio, print media, Reuters. They're saying, don't trust your neighbor. Don't trust people at the auto parts shop, people paying cash for coffee. Everybody's a terrorist. Don't trust anyone. Only trust your loving government, who happens to be the folks that are actually staging the terror attacks. Our government has been taken over by the big 6 megabanks. Open world government has been announced. Open UN world taxes. Open global carbon taxes. It's all being announced. The Congress has a 9% approval rating. They openly engage in insider trading. They engage in every crime you can imagine. And when we come back to the next segment, I want to take some calls on this subject with you, specifically on the subject of InfoWars issues emergency terror alert. Now, things have built to a head before, and I've issued these. And month after, underwear bombing. A few weeks after, Hassan attack. A month after, 9/11 attack. I mean, I've learned when they're building this up. We've issued terror alerts over the years. I don't know, I might have issued 7 or 8 where I'm saying this is an alert. And there's been cases where it doesn't develop because we've got people watching and this backs the globalist off. But they think we're so stupid that Obama has all these advisors in the Financial Times of London, you name it, writing articles about how great a staged terror attack would be. And then you have a government that lies and says it's the law to take vaccines and takes kids to kangaroo courts and takes them from their parents when there's no law. And now all over the country, they're trying to take people's children if they're, tardy to class. That's in the Washington Post. Judge sets trial date in Laudum school tardiness case. And the father, who's a lawyer, before he'd come on, he says, I keep getting invited on talk shows and burned, where they say they're my friend and they get me on, and then they say, why don't you take your kid to school? And I point out it's not even the law. I could take my kid out of the school if I wanted to. She's it's a 5-year-old. They've been late, and they're combining these and saying it's truancy. The code says it's this many unexcused. They're excused, I'm the parent, but even if they were unexcused, it takes more than this. This isn't what the law says, but they won't let him get that out. So the guy wouldn't come on until I read this. He didn't know who I am, but he's going to come on the last 30 minutes of the show. Darren's in there setting him up. And, he's in there telling Darren, don't you understand? There is no law. How are they sending me a summons? How is this happening? Welcome to criminal land. I remember on the news 12, 13 years ago with the ASAP program, we went down to the county, lawsuits got filed, they claimed they backed off on it, but they just came right back later. I can't fight every battle. I can't fight every dragon. And on the news, they would show the kid, Billy in the 4th grade was late to class 3 times in 2 months. That counts as a truancy. So he would be thrown in juvenile hall for a week, but the judge was nice. And she says, listen to me, Dad, you sign this paper, I'm taking him. The dad signed. He's like, we're so sorry. She should go to jail. There's no law. In Texas at that time, it was 16 unexcused absences. It wasn't even 1. But it was all fraud, getting you to sign an agreement and a contract. And that's fraudulent, too. I mean, look, Judge Gene Muir's a big, fat crook. Okay? There you go. And I'll say it about any of these people. They know it. They're defrauding people of their rights through total ignorance. And it's a family court. It's not even a real court. It's a racial hygiene court. Shut up the first ones in New York, 1910. Didn't exist until that. These were the courts that grabbed young women and sterilized them. Look it up. I mean, I'm informed. I know how criminal they are. They take your baby's blood for 40 years at birth, illegally. They do whatever they want. They're crooks. They're crooks. They're crooks. They're scum. They're trash. They're filth. They're scum. They're lying scum. They want to ruin your life. They want to put you in prison. They're arresting children for running at recess now, 5-year-olds. Associated Press with a straight face reports it. You're like, but it's not illegal to run. I know. The courts aren't real courts. The country's gone. Admit it's gone to ever get it back. I have issued a worldwide emergency alert. The criminals that run our government have been caught staging past terror attacks and issuing fake terror alerts. They are now rolling out a PR campaign to prepare the psychological mind out there, the collective, that terror attacks are coming and that it's going to be Iranian and domestic groups linked up. This is a maximum alert. The article is at Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. Infowars issues emergency terror alert. Threat of false flag event has never been greater. This is a maximum alert. Now, I'm going to take a few calls in this segment. The Stan Monteith's coming up. The toll-free number to join us is 800-259-9231. So the phones are open, but specifically on my worldwide terror alert. Again, groups that have been caught doing it, groups that have the motive, the means, who've been caught doing it, they're the main suspects. And the suspects themselves are terrorizing us, saying, give your rights up, the terrorists are about to hit. And I'm like, I know, you're the terrorist. Your agenda to get our guns, to bankrupt our country, to start new wars is stalling. You're getting ready to try to frame us into a new war. I get it. I'm not stupid. Now, the essence of the tyranny we face, I've talked a lot about this, is that nationwide you see the hoax every year in August that it's the law to take vaccines. There is no law anywhere that you've got to take a vaccine. In California, they passed an unconstitutional law, as you know, 4 months ago, saying if they can convince your 12-year-old to take a vaccine or have an abortion or go on birth control, and there's another article about that today, that it's their decision. Really, a 12-year-old can't be convinced to have sex with a guy at a street corner because they're not of age to make that decision, or to drink Jack Daniels. This is the state, like a pervert, coming at your kids. Again, lawless, filthy scum by their own actions. But this father who's in the Washington Post, judge sets trial in school tardiness case. Amy and Mark Dinacore are headed for full-blown trial to defend themselves against charges they have violated Virginia law by making their kids late to elementary school. And I've seen in Travis County 3 tardies combined to be a criminal truancy, and the code was 16 absences. And I went down to the county court and I said, this is illegal. And they're like, well, Judge Biscoe's like, well, this is a federal program and we're allowed to. And I went, here's the code. And I started telling parents about it, and they started suing, and they backed off. And then they put it on the news. The judge was, again, people crying, going, your son was late 3 times. And, you know, the little kid, I think his name was Albert, was in 4th grade. He's like, I'm sorry, my parents will get me here earlier. I'm sorry. And they're like, I'm going to take you and put you in juvenile halls, like a Janet Reno type. And he's like, no. In fact, she looks just like Mr. Napolitano. No, not that. And the dad's like, whatever. And they sign their kid over into juvenile. Sign him over into an adjudication where now he's a criminal. In their racial hygiene court. That's what the family court is, not a real court. And so this father, who's a lawyer, they report here in the Washington Post, you know, they're lawyers. The couple was arraigned Monday morning in juvenile domestic relations court. Judge Pamela L. Brooks, see, it's not a real court. The Dinacores are each charged with 3 cases of Class 3 misdemeanors. And it goes on to have the Dinacores, both trained as lawyers, argue that whoever's one's option of their parenting, the county has no legal authority to convict them of a crime. And, of course, he sent me the code 22.1-254, right, just like Texas. Parents can do whatever they want. Parents can take their kids out, period. It's when it's incredible. And it's not even enough truancies to kick in and be criminal. But, see, they don't care. It's all about criminal activity. And here it is, late to class. This is late. I've got the Daisy's tardiness, the 5-year-old. And here is the summons. And they've now been arraigned for something, and I've got the code that isn't even a law. And again, we probably got the father on the last 30 minutes of the show today. This is the type of garbage I'm talking about, and it's everything. It's everywhere. The police break the law. They've got the military on the streets breaking the law. They're saying there's no constitution, that they'll spy on us without warrants. They're stealing tens of trillions of dollars for foreign banks. The Congress says they're allowed to insider trade. That's totally illegal. They're just exercising criminal authority on us, trying to break our will. The TSA's out of their jurisdiction, all of it. Sworn police can't stick their hands down your pants. The martial law is everything as an arrest situation. You're under arrest. That's what martial law is. And we're all prisoners. We're all under custodial arrest in a national emergency carried out by foreign banks that hijacked the country and are training the cops for war with us. Cops, that's basically the system training you to jump in front of 18-wheelers going 100 miles an hour or to stick your hand down garbage disposals. I don't hate you. I don't want war with you, but I'm sure not scared of you. All your black uniforms, all your junk. I mean, you know, if civil war starts, you're going to be hiding out in your bunkers. and that's part of the globalist plan as well. Look, I don't want to go there. Just have an awakening. Realize training people serving coffee to spy on folks and that paying with cash is criminal. Just wake up, for heaven's sakes. Let's take a few calls, but I've put out this worldwide alert. InfoWars issues emergency terror alert. There's never been a time when they're getting more ready for this right now. And saying domestic groups are getting ready to hit any minute. And, you know, that we're evil because we love America. I mean, no, we're just aware of what's happened. Please get this out. Please get this out. Please get this out to everybody. Brent in Pennsylvania, you're on the air.
Yeah, hey, Alex. How you doing, man?
I'm okay.
Yeah, I tell you what, this is just a further acclamation to the further martial law police state that's ongoing every day. It's ridiculous.
By every yardstick, the United States is a cartoon-level tyranny. And now they're saying, we'll secretly arrest you, and we're going to start shutting the media down. I mean, they're now openly admitting it. Notice all the criminals at once are saying, yeah, we're going to share all your data with Google. Yeah, Microsoft's spying on you. Yeah, the schools are watching you at home over your laptops. Yeah, we're putting GPS on your car. Yeah, when we pull you over, we're going to take blood without a warrant. Yeah, we're going to shoot your kids up whether you like it or not. Yeah, we're going to take your kids. Yeah, we're criminals. Go ahead.
It's a self-fulfilling prophecy, and whether they like it or not, they're pushing the people against the wall. And, you know, I don't want to see the people get angry and resort to violence, but, you know, it's like putting a rabbit in a cage. I mean, you can't expect it not to bite
It's
you.
all part of the plan. They've told the cops, get ready for terrorists. They force people into situations to defend themselves. That'll be called terrorism. I hear you. Good points. But to prime it all, to make anybody resisting look bad, they'll blow up some daycare centers and stuff. See, the feds will, like they've done before. It's all part of them posing and the cops running up and grabbing the leg of the Fed, and the Fed puts the wing over. But if the cop wakes up to the Fed being the terrorist, they'll just kill the cop and their family. Because the cops love that anyways. Let's talk to Mark in New York. Mark, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hey, Alex.
Hey, buddy.
You know, you left one thing out in your report, though. Obama's starting a war with the Roman Catholic Church. And according to the Drudge Report, they were saying that there might be war on the streets because of it.
Yeah, they're saying that all churches have to hire people who are for abortion and of other sexual persuasions. And in England, they are banning Christians from proselytizing on the street. If it the advertising commission is saying if we don't like saying there's a God and that you can live forever, that's false advertising, you're banned. So they're banning free speech in England, Magna Carta. That's BBC's very proud of it. And yes, they're announcing that you will, but again, it's only Christianity. You know, I saw a Newsweek cover that I actually bought it and forgot to bring it today. It was the war on Christianity, but it's how pockets of Muslims are attacking Christians, which is true. But it's only to get Christians mad at Muslims for a new war. The state is waging war against Christians. And yes, they're saying that Catholic schools will teach all this stuff and that they will promote and fund abortion.
And that's, you know, if he goes against the Roman Catholic Church, that could be really bad. But I do agree with you. I read Drudge's report this morning on what you wrote, and, you know, you would be considered a sovereign citizen, quote unquote, according to the FBI.
Yeah, well, I know Drudge linked to our article, Senate passes bill allowing airports to evict TSA screeners. Legislation could lead to despised federal agency being marginalized from aviation security. People say, well, they'll just bring in private gropers. Yeah, but then that'll be marginalized. This is going to be the beginning. See, they've got to break our will in the airports, groping us and everything, and force the line with the radiation machines because they got to have it on the streets. If they fail there, they fail everywhere. If the globalists fail anywhere, they fail everywhere. Do you see that?
But it also depends on what Pistol has to say today in the committee, because he's up there representing the TSA, and personally I think
Pistoli is a known congenital liar.
Well, that's true.
He said that machines have been tested for radiation. Not true. He said they don't grope children under 12. Not true. He said they don't strip old ladies. Not true. They don't rip off colostomy bags. Not true. Liars, liars. And I mean, I'm seeing 10 cases or more a day of them robbing people. Who else do you think is going to want to grope old ladies all day and grope children? Oh, I mean, of course they're robbing bags and raping women in parking lots and planting things on people. Of course.